I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Thursday, May 9th. Another recreational marijuana shop has been approved in Quincy. The zoning board this week unanimously approved of the new shop for 159 Brook Road in South Quincy. Margaret Supre will put up a new building for the new store, which she says will be subscription-based. The approval came with some conditions to regulate traffic and parking and signage. Previously, a retail marijuana shop was also approved for a nearby location on Liberty Street. There is a retail pot shop at the Four River Rotary in Quincy Point, and a fourth shop has been approved for Quincy Avenue on the Braintree line. There is also a medical marijuana dispensary off Raschuti Drive in West Quincy. Some neighbors are concerned about traffic and parking issues when a new restaurant opens at the former Quincy Masonic Temple on Hancock Street in Quincy Center. At the Board of License Commissioners meeting this week, people who live around the area expressed concern that the plans for Mason's Steakhouse by restaurateur Jimmy Liang will create parking issues along Whitney Road and Russell Park. Liang will be opening a 3-floor, 200-seat restaurant that will also include a function room, bar, and outdoor dining area. The restaurant will be open 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Saturday and open at 10 a.m. on Sundays. The board did approve the license, but officials said they would revisit the issue if traffic and parking become a problem. A proposal for a 4-story, 9-unit condo complex across from the Adams birthplaces in South Quincy has been continued again. The Zoning Board of Appeals this week agreed to a request from the developer's attorney to continue the hearing until June 18th. The proponent wants to demolish the Quincy Auto Tech Shop on Independence Avenue and put up the new condo complex with some ground-level commercial space and 23 parking spaces. The superintendent of the Adams National Historical Park worries that the development will take away the already limited parking spaces in that area. Well, this year's 50th annual Stop the Stigma 5K road race to benefit Interfaith Social Services of Quincy's New Directions Counseling Center set new records. Interfaith says a record number of participants took part in the April 27th event and raised more than $140,000. Over 850 people walked or ran the 3.1 miles around Squantum to raise money for mental health counseling sessions, but also to raise awareness about the importance of mental health treatment and challenge stereotypes about those suffering from mental health issues. The counseling center serves everyone, but also offers services on a sliding scale fee system, and new clients receive their first 4 sessions free of charge. Steve Conti from Quincy was the fastest man in the race at 19 minutes and 8 seconds, and Nicole Souza of Quincy was the fastest woman with a time of 21 minutes and 27 seconds. Ran Cronin from New Hampshire took gold in the non-binary category, and Ronan O'Connor of Quincy earned the title of fastest youth on the under-16 category. The 40th annual Quincy Senior Olympics continue today with a cornhole tournament. The tournament takes place today at Pageant Field from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., featuring men's, women's, and mixed doubles. The games kicked off on Monday night and will continue until May 23rd. The Quincy High School Fashion Show takes place this evening. The annual show will be held in the high school auditorium tonight at 7 o'clock. A buffet-style dinner prepared by students in the Quincy High School Culinary Arts program will begin at 5:30 in the school's President's Cafe. Authorities arrested 3 males for their alleged connection to several armed robberies in 2 different South Shore communities last month. According to Norwell Police, an adult male from Lowell, an adult male from Revere, and a juvenile from Lowell are facing charges. Investigators say one of the suspects is charged with armed robbery while masked and assault with a dangerous weapon. The other 2 suspects were charged with armed robbery while masked. Police did not release the names of the adult suspects and did not specify which suspects are facing what charges. But last week, 25-year-old Guilherme de Souza turned himself in to Lowell police and admitted he was driving the getaway car. On April 17th, 3 men entered the 7-Eleven on Washington Street in Norwell just after 4 a.m. and demanded cash while displaying 2 handguns. Just a half hour after the Norwell robbery, Quincy police say 3 armed men robbed a 7-Eleven on Franklin Street. At gunpoint, a black sedan was seen fleeing both scenes. Suspects accused of the Quincy armed robbery may be connected to the similar crime in Norwell. All 3 suspects will be arraigned in Hingham District Court, and the investigation is still active and ongoing. Firefighters battled a blaze at a Duxbury house that may have been sparked by a lightning strike. Last night, fire started at around 7:15, around the time of a significant lightning storm in the area, according to Duxbury fire officials. Fire crews from Pembroke and Hanover were on scene to assist in putting out the flames. At about 10 o'clock last night, firefighters were airing out the house and had propped open doors and windows. Crews also cut a hole in the roof of the house for ventilation. Firefighters left the scene just before 11 p.m. No one was home at the time, and there were no injuries. The Duxbury Fire Department believes the cause of the fire is weather-related, but it is still under investigation. A house fire in Franklin was sparked when lightning struck the home last night. Franklin firefighters were able to quickly knock down the flames, but the lightning strike and resulting fire caused significant damage to the rear siding of the home on Partridge Street. It is not clear right now if anyone was injured in connection with the lightning strike or that resulting fire. Karen Read's high-profile murder trial continued yesterday with jurors hearing from witnesses in the case other than Canton police for the first time in days. The jury got a look at the body language between Read and her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, just hours before his death in 2022. Surveillance video from inside C.F. McCarthy's pub in Canton shows Read arriving while O'Keefe drank beer with friends. More video was shown from the Waterfall Bar and Grill in Canton, where the couple met up with more friends. Inside the Waterfall with them was fellow Boston police officer Brian Albert, who owns 34 Fairview Road, the Canton home where the group ended up going after and where O'Keefe was found later dead outside. Defense attorneys showed more video in their cross-examination, including a clip where Brian Albert and ATF agent Brian Higgins were seemingly play-fighting in the bar before the after-party. The defense claims O'Keefe died in a fight rather than being hit by Read's SUV. A bartender who served the group also testified, agreeing with the defense that nobody in the group appeared to seem highly intoxicated at the bar. Chris Albert, Brian Albert's brother, is expected to take the stand this morning. He'll be the first witness to testify who was at Brian Albert's house the night of the alleged murder. Well, Governor Maura Healey and State Climate Chief Melissa Hoffer, along with Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, will be traveling to Italy next week for a climate conference. The delegation will be attending the Vatican Climate Summit, From Climate Crisis to Climate Resilience, which is taking place May 15th through the 17th. Pope Francis will preside over the global conference, which will bring researchers, policymakers, and faith leaders together to understand the scientific and societal challenges of climate change and recommend solutions for resilient people and resilient ecosystems, according to a release from the pontiff. Healey, who will provide a keynote address at the opening session of the conference, will discuss governing in the age of climate change. And Wu will talk about governance, health, and energy at the summit. Healey said the trip will highlight Massachusetts' climate and economy, particularly the emerging industry of climate tech. The goal of the trip is also to strengthen diplomatic and economic ties between Massachusetts and Italy. A check of business news this morning. Stocks are mixed. The Dow was up 172. The Nasdaq dropped 29. The S&P fell just a fraction. World stocks also mixed. The euro down and oil at $79 a barrel. In sports, Panthers trounced the Bruins 6-1 last night. Series will continue with Game 3 at the Garden tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's all tied up at one game apiece now. And the Celtics take on the Cavaliers at the Garden tonight at 7 in their Game 2 of their playoff series. The C's lead 1-0. Braves beat the Red Sox 5-0 in Atlanta last night. Sox are back home tomorrow night at 7 against the Washington Nationals. Today's forecast from the National Weather Service, mainly cloudy and a high of 62. Cloudy tonight, low 54. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 55. Saturday, partly cloudy, high 58. Sunday, cloudy, the high of 60. The marine forecast calling for 1-foot waves, northwest winds at 10 knots, becoming northeast later today, and a high tide at 1:08 p.m. Sunrise 5:28, sets at 7:52. I'm Joe Catalano with an AM Quincy news update for Thursday, May 9th.